After years of waiting, we finally have what we wanted. For those of you that's been following this channel for a while, you know how much passion I have towards the Fable brand. It's been a few years since Phil Spencer himself teased what the Playground Games studio was doing that was making an RPG, but he never actually came out and officially said that Fable was being made by them. Today we have more information. We have who's making them, and we actually have a little bit more information in terms of what type of Fable they're making. But before we get on with the video, definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. You can always subscribe to the channel for weekly content, and you can always go over there and follow me on Twitter at LordAddictILP. Without any further ado, let's get on with the video. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here, coming after you another video. Obviously, if you clicked on this video, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about Fable. For the past couple years, we've been very curious on if Microsoft is doing anything with the Fable brand, to a point that some of us even felt like this game might not even exist. But today, during the July 23rd event for Microsoft, they actually came out full-blown and announced this game officially. So Playground Games is making the new Fable. What I like about this is Playground Games is definitely one of Microsoft's best studios. I've always been one of the people that I'm a little nervous because they've only really made Forza Horizon games, but it's not like they're taking the exact same people that make Forza Horizon. They have a completely different team that's been built especially just to make this game. So it's going to be very exciting to see what new take they have in the Fable universe. So they started the trailer with a fairy going around a forest, and she's flying down from a sword. So what I liked about showing this sword from the start is it looks like they're going to stay away from guns. And this doesn't necessarily mean they're going to stay away from guns 100%, but I do think showing this particular weapon means that it's going to be more of a magic and sword type of game, because I do feel like the Fables that surrounded themselves with the magic and sword and not necessarily the, you know, the mechanical guns and etc, generally were better type of games. So deeper into the trailer of Fable, it was actually kind of interesting because the dialogue that was happening to the narrator, he said this world is filled with legendary heroes and treacherous villains. So it is kind of weird the wording he chose. Now, there's always been heroes in Fable. That's kind of literally what the Fable universe has always been built around, is the heroes that is in the world that branch out and do things in the world. But it's never really focused on huge villains. Besides Jack of Blades, I've never really seen that type of term used in the Fable games. Now, there's always been villains in Fable, don't get me wrong, but they've never really focused on the world villain like they've always focused on the world hero. And in this trailer, they have them both there. So I think that's kind of interesting. Obviously, it could just be that there is actual villains in this game, just like they've been in every Fable game. But I'm kind of thinking maybe there's like a villain guild, just like there's a hero guild. Now, for those of you that watched my what Fable needs to be a better brand, you noticed that I did bring up the aesthetics and what this game needs to visually look like. Now, when I made that video, I wasn't really meaning that it had to look like that particular type of style for me to play that or for the game to be good. I was just saying from a visual aspect and from the mainstream, it would be better if it went with a realistic approach. Clearly, we didn't get any type of gameplay, but we did get a cinematic that made it look a little bit more cartoony. And it did look that it wasn't extremely cartoony like Fable, but it wasn't extremely realistic like I said in that video. So it does look like that Playground has found a good middle ground if the game looks anything like that was in this trailer. Now, the trailer ended with the fairy flying above a flower and a toad grabbed it and brought it down and killed it. Now, this could mean a couple things to me. One thing it could mean is it's always had that humor and it's going to continue in this game. But to me, it did feel like that is insinuating that, you know, this is the old Fable, the funny Fable, the colorful Fable. Because if you notice that when she got snatched up by that frog, the screen that the frog belonged to seemed a lot more dark. All the color was gone. So it did seem like that was a change in a little bit on how the artistic world will be in this game. But obviously it could not have meant that serious. It could have just been that humor that's been in the Fable universe for as long as I can remember, where a fairy goes by something, he gets snatched up, and it's just being itself as a Fable game. Now, one of the last things we saw in this is we saw Barrowstone. It looked like Barrowstone. It might not have been. This could be not. We don't even know if this is Albion. It could be a completely different location, but we did see a big giant city that was on the horizon. It looked pretty, it looked fantastic, and I'm really interested and curious where they're going to take this game. There's so many things that they can do with the Fable brand. There's so much different perspectives that they can put into this franchise to make it one of the best RPGs that's on the market, and it could easily become one of Microsoft's pillars that they can stand on, up there with the Gears, up there with the Halos, and up there with the Forzas. And I honestly think that if Playground Games does this game right, they could have all of the above. They could be one of the best games on the Xbox platform and in the Xbox ecosystem. But anyway, you guys, tell me what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy the trailer? Do you think it was a little bit too less? I didn't expect gameplay from it because I know that this game is still a couple years away from being formally released. So I didn't really expect gameplay to an extent. Maybe we'll see some next year, but tell me what you guys think about the trailer. Put that in the description, put that in the comment section below. I'm very curious on your guys' perspectives of being the Fable community. So tell me what you guys expected, and tell me if you didn't expect this, did you expect gameplay? Because I'm curious on that too, because if you did expect gameplay, I understand, but definitely putting that in the comment section below. This is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.